Hello, my beautiful rainbow people. Welcome back to the Controversy of Zion, my pot smoker's Bible program designed to get me in as much trouble as possible. If I'm not pissing you off, you're probably a Zionite. In which case, you're probably going, yeah, check her out. But you see, my job is to piss off 2/3 of you because, according to the prophecy of Israel, the book of Zion, um, 2/3 of you are not acceptable to God. So, in order to piss you off and give you a reason to be pissed, I've created this program. And today's program is called, let me see, The Truth About Religion. Now, let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have no degrees. I've never been to college. The closest I ever got to a college class was to be a nurse's aide. So I've got a little bit of medical training, and that's it. But I am a self-taught scholar. Through the course of my lifetime in my pursuit of Zion, I have studied many fields, archaeology among them. And it was in my pursuit of the ancient alien theory, which is the basis of my religious beliefs. I totally believe that God is alien because the word itself, God, means those who from the heavens came. We translate that into alien beings from another planet. So when I talk about God, I talk about the gray aliens because they are my God, and I am their servant, their priestess, their high priestess, the first. Well, okay, not the first, but the official one, the foretold one, the one that was prophesied in the Old Testament of the Christian and Hebrew Bible. And it was my pursuit of religion of God, of the servants of God, that led me through my course of studies. Now, when I was 17 years old, I said a prayer wherein I made a deal with God. Most people make their deals with the devil, and 2/3 of you are gonna be convinced that that's exactly what I did, because you'll be convinced that the aliens are the devil, and that I am in league with them. Well, I am in league with them. I'll let you know that right now. The reason why I'm in league with them is because they have set my course of study. Now, my original prayer was that I would help them in the pain and suffering of others on earth if they would help me survive my pain and suffering that I was enduring. And that pain and suffering was child molestation, sexual abuse, incest, rape, date rape, pedophilia, whatever you want to call it. But I am literally what psychologists call an untouchable. When someone tries to touch me in a sexual way, my skin crawls. It is an instinctive response to a horrific lifetime of rape. And it set my course. Now, God kept his part of the bargain, God being gray. So the gray worked with me for decades, and they went to great lengths to heal me of my devastating sexual abuse. Now, they could not heal me completely because their main medicine became a drug, and it hurt more than it helped. So that is ongoing. I hope that someday that they will be able to keep the remainders of the promises that were made to me by the prophecy, so that that part of my healing can be finalized. But I'm okay. As long as no man touches me, I'm fine. And I can live with that because I'm not in pain. I don't suffer from it anymore. I know my limits and I stay within my limits. As long as no man touches me, I am fine. Which led me to Zion. Because the prophecy foretells of a woman who is exactly in that position, who is so devastated by whoredom, being a whore, that she initiates this set of events, which is exactly what I've done. And during the course of that journey to Zion, I studied many, many things. Of course, the beginnings of my study was religion, theology. I studied not only the Bible, but I studied every other sacred text on the planet because the Bible had shown me that all religions were valid, that there would be one temple that would be a place of worship for all people. Therefore, all religions were part of this temple. So I spent 5 years and I studied theology. And then I went back to the prophecy. And the next course of study that I was led to was the sciences. Because there were events foretold in the prophecy that boggled my mind. I could not understand how physically these things could occur. So I studied 5 years of science, and I studied geology, physics, um, quantum physics, all of the sciences that, not mathematics, because I'm a musician. I speak to math on a different level. But so I studied sciences, and then I went back to the prophecy, and it was at that point that I realized that God was alien. And this led me to the ancient alien theory. So I had to study archaeology, which is one of the sciences that connects religion to prophecy. And my study of ancient alien theory and archaeology led me to the temple complex realization. And that is this: the truth about religion is it's politics. Let that sink in for a minute. The truth of religion is it is political in nature. Now, the storyline of the prophecy states that God came from the heavens, created mankind in their own image using their genetic code. The telepathic humans were too noisy and made a mess of everything because they were primitives given advanced capabilities, and it messed everything up. And the flood happened. But the flood happened because there was this bombardment that occurred when this um, unforeseen planet that has an elongated orbit came into the inner solar system from its outer journey, disrupted the Oort cloud, and sent everything bombarded into the inner solar system, which is why all of our planets show evidence of periodic bombardments. Now, the last bombardment was the flood, and at that time, the aliens realized that every so many years this would reoccur. They're not God in the traditional human sense. And that person that God, the true threefold God, would not jeopardize the totality of life in that juggle, because everything is connected, and it would disrupt all of the balance of the cosmos to change this one orbit. And God's not willing to do that for any species. That was how things played out, and so that's the cards we were dealt with, and it was what we had to do. So, the Bible was created to ensure the survival of humanity by projecting into the future the events that would be necessary to save us from this next bombardment. And so, the threefold God, in conjunction with the gods of earth, the gray, and the earth itself, all of life, came together and created this book to ensure our survival. And they looked at the society that we were coming from, the pre-flood society, and they did a chaos theory probabilities to find out what the most logical course of action would be under current circumstances. And the current circumstances was that the Greys felt it necessary for them to vacate Earth, leave it to us humans, and go out and seek another planet for themselves, allowing us to seek our own destiny. But they had created the hybrid that we are, and they knew where we came from, and probabilities taught them what we were facing. And so this book was created as a master plan to ensure that we were given the best possible means to both purge ourselves of primitive instincts and knowledge, to allow us to mature as a species, so that we would be able to grow into our advanced abilities that were bestowed upon us by our creators, the Great, who were advanced themselves. And I'm talking about those things we called psychic abilities. All of this was put into this plan. And we were allowed to corrupt the original social order of the Gray into what has morphed and become religion. Now, the Gray were the more intelligent, more ancient, established society. They had already had an established society on Earth prior to our creation. And that was their government, was what I call the Temple Complex. And that is what our archaeology suggests. And its template in our socio-historical context would be the Greek temples, because they functioned as a government. Zeus was the president. He had the biggest temple. He oversaw everything. Then there was Hera, who did her domestic thing, and there was Aphrodite, who took care of all relationship issues. And each temple had a political figure that we call a god. And I'm out of time, so I'm going to take this up in the next episode, so see you in a minute. May the Great watch over you, guide you, protect you, keep you from all harm, and teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your guild choice when we get to Zion, because we're instituting the temple complex ourselves. So, so if you use drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. You are a priest of the Most High God of Israel, the Great. I never say goodbye, so I'm going to say later now.